guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics, Gygor. Or is it Gygor? I don't know, I'm sticking with Gygor. I like that better. So, who is Gygor, you ask? Well, way back in the beginning of the original Masters of the Universe toy line, a few of the toys we got came straight from the Big Jim toy line, such as Battle Cat. One that was planned was to take this gorilla from the Big Jim line and turn him into a Masters of the Universe character named Gygor. The figure never actually happened, so now for the first time, Mattel is releasing an official Gygor action figure, very similar to what they did with Hero at last year's San Diego Comic-Con. Gygor comes in the now standard white mailer box bearing his name. Out of that mailer, the figure is in a large window box very similar to the one that Titus came packaged in. The back of that box features a look at other figures in the line, as well as a brand new bio for the Gygor character. While he's not as big as Titus, Gygor still feels massive. There's more girth to him than height, and I think that's what really makes him feel so massive. The figure features the same rotocasting used on Titus, but does feature solid arms and actually has a bit of weight to him. The sculpt on this guy is downright awesome. I absolutely love the detailing, especially in the angry, screaming face. The paint job is an interesting choice of colors, but stays true to the original prototype, with bright yellow fur and an olive green breast. Gygor includes a huge battle axe to wield as his weapon. It's a very cool accessory, and the figure has no problems holding it and being posed with it. It's quite a bit more effective than the weapon that was included with Titus. Aside from the axe, Gygor is decked out in battle armor, complete with a cape, and a helmet. Alright guys, getting hands-on with Gygor. First, let's take a look at the size of this figure. He is quite massive, but as you can see, he isn't quite as tall as Titus, but he is still a lot bigger than I was expecting him to be. He's almost double the size of a regular figure, and he comes up to about the shoulder on Titus here, so he's still a pretty massive dude. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at the actual figure itself. Now his armor here is actually all removable, completely. So not just the axe, but we can take off the helmet, which sits firmly and snugly right on top of his head. We can actually even remove the cape and the harness. There's actually a part on the back where the belt unclips. It does take a little bit of work, but it just pops right off. Very similar to how a lot of the armor does on the figures. And crazy enough, you can pop Gygor's head off on a ball joint just like you can with the other Masters figures. And this is how you slide this right off there. Pop the head back on, and actually all of the armor pieces and leg pieces are all separate, and they can be pulled off of the figure. So you can completely remove the armor to have yourself just a big old yellow gorilla if you want to do that. And the articulation is actually pretty good. You've got the ball jointed shoulders, you've got the twists at the biceps, you've got the elbows, you've got twists at the wrists, twists at the feet, and then the legs. They are actually a cut joint, no ball joints there, but that's actually to go better with the gorilla sculpt of the actual figure. Now, one thing to note is that this is kind of a hollow figure. I think it's the rotocast thing, very similar to what we've seen with Titus. And while he has actually got a lot of weight to him, I think it's because of the arms and the limbs there, he is kind of squishy. As you can see, I can actually squeeze the figure. Really not that big of a deal because it's not like it's a really soft plastic or anything, but it is worth noting. Gygor is an interesting figure choice for the line. He's once again proof that Mattel is including bits from all eras of Masters of the Universe into this particular line, including concept figures that were never released. While Gygor is not the first prototype character to hit the line, he still has the problem of not being a recognized character to many fans. Unlike Hero, most people have no idea who this yellow gorilla was until Mattel announced him. And I'm willing to bet there are still a lot of people who don't know. But overall, I really like this figure. I think the sculpt is amazing. I love the wacky color combinations. The articulation works great, the size is awesome, and I love that armor with the cape. But even as cool of a figure as he is, he almost doesn't feel like a Masters of the Universe figure to me. It's really strange, actually, but I think that goes back to the fact that we just have no connection to this specific character. At least with Hero, we've known for years that he was supposed to be released, and we knew a little bit of his story. Gygor is pretty much entirely new to us all the way around. If you're a collector who's only looking to grab the guys that you grew up with, then you might be okay passing on him. But I would still recommend this guy, because like I said, he's a great overall figure, and he adds some really cool variety to your Masters of the Universe shelf. Gygor goes on sale on MattyCollector.com in September. Until next time.